Hello again, Rebecca here, and welcome to Mixed Media Frenzy. This is my first ever video being a part of the group, and that is the sketch that we're going to use. And all of us use the same sketch or layout, and in this case it's a layout, and we all make, basically use that as the inspiration piece for our layout. So don't forget to check all the other lovely ladies below that are the original members of the group. And like I said, I was just asked this past week if I wanted to join them and play along every Friday, and of course I said yes, because, well, I love those ladies. They all are so great, and I watch their videos all the time, so don't forget to go check them out as well. And as you've seen in the sketch that I showed in the beginning, there is a cluster at the bottom right and the top left. And so my original thought was to gesso just those spots, but since I used a colored cardstock, even though it was clear gesso, it changed the color ever so slightly, so I just gessoed the whole paper. Just so it was like, cohesive. If it would have been white cardstock, it wouldn't have mattered, but obviously you could tell the difference. So I just went ahead and gessoed everything. I pulled out my Polka Dot stencil from Scrappy Reflections. It's a 12 by 12 stencil, and my Stickles Glitter Glaze in Solar Flare, and my metal palette knife. And as you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and create the two areas where everything on the layout is. So they're, up here, and mine are going to be a little bit bigger, and that's okay. So right here I am going to go ahead, and what I was trying to do is I didn't want to have like complete lines. Like I didn't want it to look like a line, if that makes any sense. So I just kind of make it all jagged and half cover some circles here and there. Now this glitter glaze has like little star pieces in it, so those kind of get everywhere. I did put that to the side and let it dry for quite some time. I'm going to pull out this stamp right here because in the layout there is these little coffee stains, and I don't have anything that looks like a coffee stain, but I do have this little wonky circle stamp that I have never used, so what better time. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out some Tim Holtz Distress ink in black soot, and I had my picture printed at this point, so I'm just trying to get a feel for where it's going to be. And I do some first generation and second generation stamping, and it is a little bit hard to get the stamping over the mixed media there, the glitter gel, but I make it work. I'm going to go ahead and take my Heidi Swap Color Shine in Tea and use my smushing method with my block, because you guys know I've been in love with that lately. And I just make that all messy all over the page. Again, a little bit harder with the block than I imagine it would be with the packaging, because it doesn't want to, squish on the raised areas there. So I just get it all pleasing to my eye, and after it dries it does kind of like melt into the background, and after I get some other things on there. So I just go to town and I get all this sprinkled on there. And I did leave I lifted all the mixed media because this is a mixed media frenzy, and that is the point, is to show all the mixed media. Alright, so now I grabbed another dot and some Tim Holtz Distress stain in a dauber, and I'm going to use that as ink, which turned out really well, surprisingly enough. I didn't know if it was going to work because I've never tried it before. So, and, I've never actually seen anybody do it. I'm not saying that nobody has done it. It's just, I've never seen it. So, it did work, and it just gave like a faint little impression. And then I go ahead and do the smooshing technique with the darker ink as well, because it's more liquid. And it really does, it's like really thin, like as to where the Color Shine is a little bit thicker because it's got some glitter and shimmer in it, so a little bit of grit to it. This is basically just liquid, and it squeeges out real well. And then I just start dripping it on, and I'm like, oh, I like that because I can make it run. And then I am actually even going to let it run with a little help. And then I'm just gonna, yeah, let it run a little bit. Let's do some drips. Oh, and then that one shot off right there, but because I used the gesso, I can go ahead and pull it right up. Now, it does leave like a watermark on the gesso, and this is, I found this bottle. I didn't even know I had Liquitex clear gesso, but I had reorganized my mixed media cart and got everything out onto it, because obviously I'm going to be playing along every Friday with these ladies, and I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of items to pull. So I found that, and I haven't used that in forever. Obviously, I didn't even know I had it. So I don't know what was going on with it. It might just be old. I do take some Delusions ink in black and sprinkle those around the page just to add some more black because of my stamping. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry. And now we're going to come in with one last mixed media element, which is shimmers in pixie dust. Oh, and let me tell you, this is the first time I've ever ordered shimmers. It was like my little birthday present to myself. And, oh, I love these things. I must have all the shimmers now. They're so fun and pretty. And it's just pixie dust, so it's white. So I was just giving like an element of contrast to the messy, dark backgrounds, even though there is some glimmer and shimmer in the solar flare stickles. And then I also have my homemade shimmer mist. I just took some Pearl X powders and dumped it in some water a long time ago. And let me tell you what, I did that like 6-7 years ago, and I use that stuff religiously, and it doesn't ever go down. So I just go ahead and spritz the entire page so that everything sparkles and shines. Now, I did notice that in the original layout, there was a couple layers behind the picture, and I go ahead and change that up and put a lot of layers. And I don't really think about it, and then I was like, oh man, I'm going to end up covering up a lot of my mixed media, but it's okay, it still works out in the end. So I just roughly cut all of the pattern papers here that I chose. This one does not get used, unfortunately, because it didn't look right after I did this, and I don't know why I did that, but I did. So I do try to, and then I'm like, yep, nope, throw that aside, and I go ahead and pull another piece, which is this cute little moose piece and a sweater piece. And I'm going to cut them down to the same size, and I think I cut them down to 5 by 3, maybe 3.5. And then right there, I'm like, dang it, I totally cut my mooses the wrong way. But that's okay, because I get them used anyway. And you can't really tell what anything is at this point. But I am going to go ahead and take this one just like that. And I flip it over, and I'm like, well, I can use the other side. So I'm just making them all like different wonky angles. And then I use some of these half pieces. And then, like, I trim that off just a smidge. And I start trimming them just a little bit on each adjacent side. And make them just a little smaller, because I just want the side, just basically the edges of each one to peek underneath it. Because this is, like, super funny picture of my son. And it is, I need to still grab the date on it, but I believe that's from like 2005, and he did not want his picture taken, obviously. And it's like, you know, joyous occasion, it's Christmas Eve, and he's opening presents, and he's like giving me the evil stink eye, you know what I'm saying? Probably because I was annoying him with trying to get him to stop playing with all his fun toys and actually look at the camera, which, how dare I? It's okay. He's trained now. It only took me 15 years. Excuse me. It's early morning, and my voice is not quite ready yet. And I'm thinking about adding this one last piece, and we get it on there, and I just am not feeling it, so it does not get added. And that is going to be it for my layers. And now we're going to go ahead and get it adhered down. Now, because I have so much gesso and mixed media and glitter gel on there, I take dry adhesive and wet adhesive because I want to make sure that it sticks. So the dry adhesive will help it stick while I'm working on the layout. However, the wet adhesive will actually help it hold. Now, because I have all these crazy funky layers, I want to make sure that the picture is actually straight. So obviously, I need my T-square ruler for that. I get that stuck down, and I pull out the 12x12 sticker sheet, and there's all these banners, which I thought would be excellent to make that little elements at the top, because there was like some banner strip, they were like border strips, scalloped border strips and stuff out there. And I choose to use the banners, and I'm going to go ahead and layer them up on top of each other. And I do go back in with some glue after the video, after everything is done, because obviously, even though the stickers are sticking nicely now, you know they're not going to. I'm going to take another look at the 12x12 sticker sheet, and I'm going to pull out two circle elements. That one I just stuck on my hand there, and this one that says special delivery. Because there were circle elements in the original layout, I thought it would be like a little nod and a little, you know, little hey to the original layout. I am going to go ahead and pop one up on some foam and the other one on some Stampin' Up! Foam dots. I'm still trying to work my way through those Stampin' Up! Dots, and I use them a lot. So as I pick off these little things that I will find in my house later on in the day, because they stick to me, then I come back and I'm going to layer these up just like this. Now, originally I didn't really want that smaller circle to be labeled up quite like that, but it wasn't going to come off. I take my little dollar store foam strip and put it on this little sticker that says Merry Everything, and that is going to serve as the title of my layout because, well, again, it's funny that he is like, you know, double eyes there, all angry. So, you know, a lot of it was kind of a little jokey joke for me. This little sticker here, it says, I don't know what it says, something about hot cocoa and fuzzy socks or something maybe, not real sure. But the little star says joy on it, and, you know, so I just put a couple things like that around the layout. I'm going to pop them both up on some foam. Now, this is like super, super sticky foam, so we shall see if I should have added extra adhesive to this. So I'm going to layer this cute little guy right up underneath the photo, and then the star is going to go underneath the Merry Everything, which obviously, as I said earlier, is the title of my layout. So I peel off those release strips, and at first I'm thinking, oh, my bad, I thought I put that over there. I did not. I did go ahead and layer a heart up underneath that as well. And then I'm going to take some wood veneer snowflakes, because it's winter time, and get those added around. Now I will have to, that one does not want to stay, so I come back over here and add some more glue. Then I even pull it up and pop it underneath the little sticker, and I end up having to go off screen and hold these last two. Like that first star is stuck, but it was on paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little cluster right here with snowflakes, and then I have to add a whole bunch more glue, and then I'm going to cut off, and I actually hold them down for a minute and they finally stick. I take another snowflake. Well, that one up there was apparently not. I cut it in half, and I'm going to sprinkle the two halvesies around the page. And I do want to thank the ladies for asking me to join. This is going to be so much fun. I love playing with mixed media. I love getting messy, and I love having some sort of direction with my mixed media, if that makes any sense. So I appreciate you guys wanting me to join your fun group, and I hope I did you justice with my first layout here. Please do not forget to go down below and check out the other four ladies' videos as well. I do go ahead and come in with a couple stars popped up on foam and some arrows just randomly pointing to the picture on the different open spaces. And I believe that is going to be it for my layout. So give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Click that subscribe button below. And again, do not forget to check out the other ladies and see what they've done with this layout lift as well. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. Oh. And then I just come in again. This is the last thing I do is these little gold puffy stars. There's 5 of them, and I sprinkle those around the page. And there's probably going to be something else. Oh, I know there is something else I do. Go ahead and grab my brad setter and punch 3 holes around the page. And then I'm going to come in with my snowflake brads, and I'm going to get them punched through, and then I'm going to flip it over and set them, and then I'm going to do the washi tape over them. I'm also going to run a bead of glue just to make sure that the cheapo washi tape holds, because it's probably a dollar store washi tape that someone gave me or I picked up and thought, hey, I will use these sunglasses. No, I won't. And that gold popsicle tape, no, I won't. All right, so we get those nicely adhered down, and then there's the layout. So that's it. Thank you. Bye.